Strap in, the round-the-world adventure continues. In this episode, I'm flying Cathay Pacific regional business class from Kuala Lumpur to Hong Kong. With a top 3 status in the World Airline Awards and the award for the world's best in-flight entertainment system, will this flight deliver sky-high luxury? From cabin comfort to in-flight dining and everything in between, let's see if this regional hop lives up to expectations. Welcome to the channel. With over 20 years of business class flying and more than 1 million miles in the air, I've seen it all at 35,000 feet. Now I'm taking things to the next level, an unforgettable round-the-world journey in business class, from London, through Asia, across the Pacific and into the Americas. Join me each fortnight as I dive into every detail, the luxury, the letdowns and honest reviews of each flight experience. Love travel, aviation or just chasing the thrill of the skies? Hit that subscribe button and join me for the adventure of a lifetime. My journey started very early in the morning at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. Cathay Pacific's check-in desks were in the middle of the terminal. There were dedicated first and business class check-in desks. The baggage allowance was 2 checked bags weighing up to 32 kilograms or 70 pounds each, with maximum dimensions of 62 inches. That's the height plus length plus width of the case. The bags were tagged priority. Cathay Pacific operates 3 daily services between Kuala Lumpur and Hong Kong, 2 on wide-bodied aircraft, but mine was on a narrow-bodied Airbus. From check-in, it was a very short walk to immigration. There was no priority for business class passengers, but it wasn't needed as the automatic gates were very efficient. After immigration, you boarded a transit headed to the satellite terminal. These ran every couple of minutes. At the satellite terminal, business class passengers could use the Malaysian Airlines Golden Lounge, which was on the first floor above the gate areas. One World Emerald status gained me access to the first class section of the lounge. The lounge was very quiet and peaceful. There was a dining room serving breakfast which appeared busier, but I opted to sit in the main lounge. Drinks, snacks and fruit were available. I settled down with a cup of tea for the short period I had before boarding. The lounge was very cold. Soon it was time to leave the tranquility of the lounge and warm up in the main terminal as I headed to the gate. It was gate C6, which was directly below the lounge. At the gate there was a long queue for security, with no priority lane for business class passengers. The flight was on an Airbus A321neo aircraft. Registration Bravo Hotel Papa Quebec. It was just 1 year old. Through security and business class boarding was already in progress, so it was straight to the aircraft. Business class was in the front section of the aircraft. There were 12 seats in a 2-2 configuration. The cabin was fully occupied. I was in the rear of the cabin in window seat 12A. The seat was very modern with a width of 21.5 inches. It was a Collins Aerospace AirRest recliner. There was plenty of legroom, although not enough space to get out around your seat companion. A pillow and blanket were provided. The shell of the seat in front was fixed, which meant it did not recline into your space. The table folded out, but was fairly low, hitting my knees. Under the armrest beside the seat was a storage compartment, below which were power sockets. In front of the seat were both USB-A and USB-C ports. There was a reading light above the seat. A divider pulled forward to provide some privacy. Under the armrest was a controller for the entertainment system. in front of which were controls to adjust the seat. On the other side of the seat was a smaller storage compartment. Overhead were individual air vents and more reading lights. There was plenty of space in the overhead bins. The aircraft was fitted with Airbus XL overhead lockers, which allow cases to be stored on their side for more space. The entertainment system had a 15.6-inch 4K monitor, which could be paired to your own headphones via Bluetooth. Soon, juice or water were offered. It was only 7:50 AM. Then a steaming hot towel was provided. The air bridge was retracted as the safety video was played.
Your safety is important to us, so please take a few minutes to watch the following video as we present the safety features of this aircraft.
離境安全對我哋嚟講非常。
We pushed back from the gate ahead of schedule. It was a short taxi from the satellite to runway 14 right. We arrived at the runway at 8:22 AM. As we take off, it's time to thank my supporters in the Doors to Automatic cabin crew. Just £4 per month gives you early access to reviews and other behind-the-scenes content, including the next episode of this series, which is already available. Head over to Patreon to join the cabin crew. The flight time to Hong Kong was scheduled to be 4 hours 15 minutes. The journey would take us across Malaysia, over the South China Sea, flying close to the coast of Vietnam. It was time to look at Cathay's award-winning entertainment system. There was a comprehensive array of content. With 1,088 movies, 409 TV series, and 1,249 audio albums. Content was available in 16 different languages, with 673 English language movies and 290 TV series. Fairly standard business class headphones were provided. I settled in to watch the box set of White Lotus, which was entertaining. Free Wi-Fi was offered to business class passengers. With low download speeds, I wouldn't have been too happy if I'd had to pay. Within 30 minutes of takeoff, the meal was served. Orders had been taken before departure. There was a choice of 3 main courses for the breakfast. A tablecloth was placed on the table before the breakfast was served on a tray. Firstly, some fresh fruit and pastries. A linen napkin and metal cutlery were provided. The croissant was very dry, but the fruit was fresh and tasty. The fruit plate cleared away. Next I was served a bowl of cornflakes. Finally, the main course. I opted for the egg soufflé with chicken sausage, spinach, tomato and roast potatoes. It was a good course and different from the standard breakfast fry-up you often get on aircraft. Overall, it was an impressive meal service. Accompanying the meal service was a drinks list. Wine and spirits were available. But at breakfast, like most people, I opted for tea and juice. There was one toilet for business class passengers at the front of the cabin. It was a pretty standard Airbus toilet. No premium toiletries were provided. A baby changing table folded down from the wall. Back in the cabin, I checked out the seat recline. To recline, the seat slid forward away from the fixed shell. A calf rest elevated as the seat reclined. A pretty thin blanket was provided. When the seat reclined, the fixed armrests were a problem, as they didn't lower with the seat. But at 21.5 inches wide, there was enough space to accommodate my elbows within the seat. I booked my round-the-world ticket with the One World Alliance. The ticket included 9 flights departing from London, flying 28,000 miles and arriving back in London just over 3 weeks later. The business class ticket cost £7,985. Booking each flight separately could have cost as much as £14,185. So at just 28 pence per mile, I thought this was very reasonable for a premium ticket. 4 episodes of White Lotus later, we were preparing to land in Hong Kong. We came into land on runway 25 right, before a 15-minute taxi around runway 25 centre to arrive at the main terminal building. So what were my overall impressions of Cathay Pacific's regional business class? Did it live up to its top status in the World Airline Awards? The ground experience in Kuala Lumpur was good. Check-in and immigration were both very efficient. The Malaysian Airlines Golden Lounge was nice, although I really needed a jacket because it was so cold. The lack of priority security at the gate was disappointing, particularly when only business class passengers were being invited to board the aircraft and everyone else was just being held in the gate lounge. The seat was very comfortable and modern. It's just a shame about the armrests when it reclined. The cabin crew were first rate, very attentive throughout the flight. The meal service was also very good. It was better presented than the breakfast on Sri Lankan, but of the same quality. The entertainment system was the most comprehensive I've seen. It worked well throughout the flight. In terms of short-haul business class, this was certainly one of, if not the best I've experienced. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Next time we move continents as I fly from Hong Kong to Los Angeles, stepping back in time as I cross the international dateline. I'll put Cathay Pacific's long-haul business class to the test. Will it be as good as short-haul? Subscribe now so you don't miss out.